Welcome to Angling Projects. It's in the Colne Valley. We're down at Wraysbury. I'm Ian Hurst, part of the Crafty Catcher team, with Andrew, my southern buddy. And the reason we're here, we're having a match. It's North v South. Come on, the North. And the reason we're both here is we've been having a bit of banter for a while. Who's the better angler? So I've been stitched up a little bit. They've dragged me down to the south. It wasn't halfway. I must get that in, Andrew. But yeah, so we're going to have a fishing match. We're here for 24 hours. We're going to do a draw to see which pegs we both fancy certain pegs, but we're going to have a walk around and do a draw. Andrew, what do you think is going to happen today then, mate?
Right, Ian and myself have both had a wander around. We both fancy a peg to the camera's right, just over here. There's some pads along the margin to the left of the swim and a really nice margin to the right, and some weedy spots out in front that have got some gaps in it. So we've decided gonna have to toss a coin for it. I've got my lucky coin out and Ian's gonna call.
Tails never fails.
Heads it is, mate. Double-headed coin.
Well, mate, all I can say is good luck. You've drawn a flyer, so pressure's on you,
Pressure's
mate.
on me, absolutely.
Good luck, and hopefully have a good 24 hours each, and may the North bash up the South.
Absolutely
Come on,
not. Never going to happen.
Okay, so that first rod's out. I'm now going to set the rest of the rods up. Hopefully we can nick one and put a bit of pressure on Andrew, because this match has already begun.
Right, the time has come to finally get the rods out. My cheeky northern counterpart has already snuck one out already, I noticed, so my turn now. As I pointed out earlier, there's lots and lots of fish fizzing by the set of pads here to my left, so I'm going to waste no time at all getting a rod on it. What I am going to do first though is just stick a pouch load of bait over the top of it, just to get the fish to drift out, and then put a lead on it without risking spooking them too much. Three rods out, just coming up to 1 o'clock, so we've got 23 hours left of the challenge. Come on the South. Right, 12 pound, 2 ounce common, one up for the South. We're That's the first one we've had between us so far, and say it took about probably 40-45 minutes to go off, so hopefully there'll be a few more, but I'm off the mark and beating the north. Thank you very much.
Well, we managed to hook one on that left-hand rod. I did a bit of leading about, found a nice little spot, and put the just a free bait stringer on it, PVA stringer with 3 king prawn 15 mils on it, and a light scattering of boilies close over it. As soon as I cast it, I just dropped a few boilies over the same spot, half a dozen. And it's probably taken a little bit longer than I expected. It looks an okay fish. I can see it in this clear water. Common. Nip one, pearl one. Get back. Oh, got him anyway. Deal with the carnage in a minute. We've got fish. Come on, the North. We're back in the game. Well, thankfully we landed it. It looks a decent common. I don't know how big Andrews was. I saw him lift it out of the water. It looked like he'd lifted it out with one hand, so it can't have been that big, can it? This one looks bigger than his, so I'm pretty sure we've taken the lead. Let's get it on the mat and weigh it and see how big it actually is. Well, that was our prize. We had a bit of carnage with the lines, but we managed to net him. So thankfully, he's here. 22.5 pound he's weighed when we deducted the net, the retainer. Whoa, steady on, boy. But yeah, not a bad start. I know Andrew's had one. Not sure how big, but I'm certain it was smaller. So the match is truly on now. I'm gonna get this one back out as quick as I can and get the rods out, because obviously it's limited time match. I think we've only got 24 hours. So let's get this lively creature back and get the rods back out on the spot.
Another common, same rod, same bait, same rig, 15-10 I believe the cameraman said. Ian across the water has also had one, but the lovely cameraman aren't telling me quite how big it is. Got a funny feeling it's bigger than my two put together, but hey ho, we shall see. There you go. Right, fingers crossed, fish number 3 coming in. Another common by the looks of things, and it might be, dare I say it, a tad bigger than the last one, which was 15-10. Might just be. But this will be number 3 compared to the Northerner's number 1. There we go, 3 it is. feeding. Really nice, pretty Colne Valley common. And they are slowly getting bigger. 12, 15, 17, so maybe a 20 next time, eh? I'm not a gambling man, but my money is on a £16 common. We shall see. To be fair to them, they really fight. I mean, I've got some sort of fairly heavy duty gear because of the weed and the pads and whatever. I mean, the rod's £3.5 test curve, lines £18 synchro, because there's no point using less because I'm just going to lose them. Right, mirror this time, very similar weight I think to the last common. It might be a few ounces heavy, it might go 18 this, but the plus is we're only counting the top 3 fish. And my smallest was 12.2, and this is definitely bigger than 12 pound 2, so I should have gained a bit of weight. Let's weigh her and have a little look. 18.6 Colne Valley mirror, courtesy of Angling Projects. So another £6 up on what I was.
Well, a bit of a catch-up, shall we? We're late into the afternoon now. We've got about an hour before it goes dark, and I've had one fish, which is a bit disappointed. I expected a few more. It seems to be very quiet in the middle of the lake at the minute. But I can see Andrew opposite. He's having a good time. He's nicking a few out of that left-hand margin like we expected. So well drawn to him. Sounds a bit sour grapes, that. But I don't know how big his fish are. I've seen him lift them out. They don't look massive. So hopefully, you know, well, not hopefully, I'm pretty confident we're going to nick another fish or two as this light fades and into the night. I think they'll drift out of that margin spot he's fishing, hopefully, and we'll get some more fish in the open water. And I'm going to stick with what I'm doing. I'm not going to start chopping and changing. Otherwise, you're chasing your tail. I'm going to stick to the spots. And fingers crossed they're going to do me some bites tonight, and we're going to catch him up and we're going to beat him. More reports later. Right, we've waited a while, but we finally got one just as this light has started to drop. Bite time, as they call it, hey? We've got one. Got to be careful here though, because there's a lot of weed. And this has already got a lot of weed on it. It's heavy and plodding, but it's slowly coming. I'm just going to walk backwards and just keep it moving. Just got to get this one in that net. We're back in the game. I know Andrew's had a few fish over there, but like I said, I don't know how big they are. It's all about size matters in this match. Oosh, get in. Ugh, get in that net. Oh mate, I'm a bit relieved to get that in. Well done, Ian. If I do say so to myself. Let's sup, you're bigger than Andrew's. This is the fish you've just seen me playing, which give a really good account of itself. And it's a beautiful common. £29 on the scales, it tipped. So I think we might be back in the game. Yeah, I'm mega happy with this one. What a lovely fish, eh? I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a few more through the night. Give Andrew a run for his money, eh? Come on, the north. Well, this is fish number 3 if we land it. I was just enjoying a cup of tea, listening to the City game, Champions League, and it ripped off that right-hand rod again. And we've got him with a fair amount of weed. I've had to walk down the bank with this one. But there is a fish in there somewhere. Yeah, there is. Mirror. Yeah, a monster, but he's another one. It's fish number 3. I'm back in the game. Right, we've zeroed this retainer, so this is the true weight of the fish. Not the biggest fish so far, but fish number 3.
So 17
£17.
exactly.
Okay, fish number 3 in the first mirror of the session. Back on that right-hand rod that's only been back out about an hour, so obviously on a nice little spot. A couple of fish off it in a quick succession. So fingers crossed we'll get another off it. We're going to get that rod back out. I think it's bite time. Come on, you boys. Bye-bye.
Mirror, king prawn again. He's a bit of a Quasimodo, he's a bit of an ugly one, and apparently he's not got a name, so I think I'll probably call him Ian. Really, really good fight. Middle rod, king prawn with a little stick mix of pellet around it with a bit sort of spawned over last night. Biggest one I've had, 19.1, 19.2 was it, Bailey? Yeah. The biggest one so far. I do have another one in the net, probably a similar sort of size, guessing another mirror as well, so I'll put this one back and we'll have a look at that one. Right, ooh, biggest one so far, £20 6 ounces, really scaly, very old, Colne Valley mirror. That's the last 2 have been my biggest 2 so far, but I've got a horrible feeling Ian has surpassed me with a bigger one last night. But if I can get another good one, say another mid-20, maybe upper 20, I've got a couple of hours to go, still got a chance. There we go.
Good morning. So a little catch up on last night's activity. We had quite a busy evening, as you probably saw a few fish sort of in the early part of the night. As the night wore on, we caught a few more fish. Nothing substantial. High teens, 16, 17, 18 pounders, a lot of cricket back commons. And we've had a fish this morning which looks a little bit bigger, so I'm going to stick this on the mat in a minute and have a look. It might scrape 20 pound, fingers crossed. Let's get it on that mat and have a look, see what it was, eh? Right, okay. So this is one I just mentioned that we just had at first light, and I thought it might go 20, but it's a fraction less. It's 19.5 pound. However, it does count in my top 3 biggest. So we've had a couple of 20s, and this one at a fraction under 20. Time for one more. With a bit of luck, we will sneak one more fish. Let's get her back. A 30 going back, Andrew. A dirty 30.
Really confident yesterday evening, was 4-1 up, had another, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've had another 5 fish. However, throughout the course of the evening and night, I could hear Ian's buzzers going off, and I've got a horrible feeling he's turned me over a little bit. I've had added to the scoreboard on now, my biggest 3 are 20, 19 and 18, which is sort of 58 pound-ish, including the ounces, maybe 59 pound actually, including the ounces. It's been really, really, really exciting. Lots of fish, but I've got a horrible feeling the Northern has turned me over. But don't know yet, so we're going to another couple of hours to go. If I get a good one, if I get a mid 20-30, I think that will put me in the lead. But the clock is ticking.
Good morning. My name's Les Webber, and I run Angling Projects. The main aim, I found Les Webber's Angling Projects 46 years ago, and to give you a rough idea, we've had 56,000 children through this centre, and we can only deal with children within groups. And you might ask, what is Angling Projects all about? Well, Angling Projects is about trying to turn young kiddies' lives or youngsters' lives around, get them away from drugs and crime and into the art of angling. But not only do we actually teach them angling, fishing or whatever you like to call it, we also teach them a few life skills where they have to learn how to do hoovering, washing up, making beds when they come and stop at the centre. We can only deal with groups, we cannot deal with individuals. And we have lots of schools. We've had schools from Liverpool, Manchester, all over the shop, Oxford, places like that, and scout groups as well. We have a lot of scout groups visit the centre, and it is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. The only criteria we use, or we want you to use, is to make sure that you've got enough food for the duration of your stay, whether they're for 1 day or 5 days. It is a residential centre, and you have enough supervision in accordance with the school requirements or the scout group's requirements, i.e. 1 student or 3 students to every teacher or 5 students to every teacher or whatever. But that's how the system works. But as I say, it is totally free. Yeah, we have full liability insurance. We also have, I'm a senior angling coach from the Angling Trust. So we've got people that help teach these children how to fish, and hopefully they will carry on doing it. But as I say, the main aim is to get the kids off the street and away from drugs and crime. And if we can turn some of those children around, which we have done over the many, many years, we've succeeded in what we want to do, and that is what Angling Projects is about. And it is supported mainly by the normal angler. We get no funding, receive no funding from the Angling Trust, any government bodies. We raise all our own funds. Yeah, we receive tackle which is donated by the normal angler, and we make it quite clear that if we can't use it in the centre or donate it to a school that's setting up an angling club, that's another thing that we do, and I'll mention that in a minute, we sell it and raise funds. We've had some very, very good supporters. Dave Hall, Chris Tarrant is a brilliant supporter of the project. Quite a few people, Cliff from Crafty Catchers have supplied us with baits, so we're happy with that. It gives me great pleasure to see some of these children that finishes up changing their lives around and take up fishing, and obviously that's the main aim of the subject, main aim of the project. Yeah. For further information, if people would like to know and find out a little bit more about Angling Projects, some tackle shops have got leaflets that we've had done, or you can go to the Angling Projects webpage, which is www.anglingprojects.org.uk, and that will give you a contact email address to make contact with me.
Match over! Everyone wind in!
Well, mate, well done. How have you gone on?
9 in total.
9? Well, I'm not going to let you know how many I've had. But I've had a few. I was struggling early on. I knew you were well up on me. You were catching in that left-hand margin we spotted when we walked
Yeah,
round.
absolutely.
Played the right card there, mate, getting them out of there early on in the daytime. But been patient. I've caught off all my spots.
Yep.
Fished the king prawn.
Yep.
As I said I would, little stringers, little bits of bait over the top. And nicked fish off each throughout the day. And I've just finished with a couple this morning. So we're just catapulting a few king prawn boilies over those spots. And each one went off in rotation throughout the day and night. It was a bit slow in the day because you'd spotted the granny out of it in the middle of the lake, so that upset me a little bit, I must admit. But thankfully, they came on the spots throughout the night. But I saw you bagging down that edge early on and I was getting a bit worried. How were you catching them?
The edge spot we both saw, we both wanted it. There was loads of fish there. The water was coloured up. Catapulted a few baits out, a few king prawn, little 12 millers, and then walked along the edge and put out some sweet corn and some hemp seed and a bit of pellet, which I could sort of stand on the fence and ping that out. I think that probably did me 7 or 8 bites. The bit that you kindly said I spotted the granny out of ended up with 2 bites on one of them, I think 3 bites on the other.
I saw you net that fish. It had a huge belly on it, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that fish,
that was the one. So all spots did bites. Really, really pleased with that. Everything again on the king prawn. Little bit of a yellow tipper, all with a little micro pellet stick mix on it.
Cool.
So yeah, it's been good.
What sort of size are we talking about, you better fish?
Biggest was 20 and bits, 20 pounds 6, I think. So my three biggest are 18, 19, 20, and I've got a horrible feeling you've turned me right over.
Well, we'll have to see what the guys say about the score because they've kept tabs. To be honest, I caught that many fish through the night last night. I lost count of what I caught. Plus, you know, I saw you catching. I don't believe what you're saying anyway.
Is that right?
Well, I don't know how big they were. I think you just might be pulling my leg here because I saw you reeling a few in through the day. And I saw you out this morning. We were both out, weren't we, at first light playing fish.
Out,
I thought, I wonder if he's been catching through the night like I have. Have I caught him up? Has he got ahead or what? So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly what you've had and what weights they are, mate.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's go to the scoreboard, eh?
Gentlemen.
So, what started out very close ended up being not so close. One of you finished on £57 and 2 ounces, and the other finished on a whopping £71. And this time, it's the North that takes it.
Go on the North! Come on!
Well done, mate.
Unlucky, mate.
Well
done. Well done. Ain't going to be no rematch.
Yeah, rematch next year. Somewhere a bit more south, though, if we can.
Yeah, a little bit more safe, yeah.
Just to make it fairer with the driving.
Yeah, well, it's part of my job, isn't it, travelling around the country, so yeah.
Just like to say a big thanks to Les Webber at Angling Projects for letting us use this lake for this match. Really, really kind.
Yeah, thanks for your hospitality, Les. Brilliant place, Angling Projects. It's aimed at kids and youth and getting them into fishing. Check it out on the website. Loads of information about it, and it's free fishing.